Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. I do what I do for you. Oh, I got something nice for you today. Let's rock. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinkers mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, that's what I'm on, is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. So I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. But you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. That's what I do. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. Right think, let's talk about the question, why ancient Egypt? And that's the question I can always answer because that's the question that I had answered a long time ago. So, why ancient Egypt? This lesson is going to break down to you the difference in the Egyptian civilization that has yet to be duplicated. Why? For this reason, I'm going to tell you. That's the question right there. I'm going to answer that question. Ancient Egypt, right? Thinkers, let's talk about. I'm giving you a breakdown of the historical and the concepts where I got them from and why I implemented and why I've been practicing them. Watch this. The oral history, before we start writing, there's an oral history, suggests that the pyramids may date back from the time of the Sphinx, 10,000 to 5,500 BCE. Okay, they don't even record that information. They don't even tell you about that anymore. They don't know. They wasn't there, so they really don't care. It ain't theirs. It's ours. That's why Egypt, and that they were used for initiation rites into what? A higher mystery of yoga philosophy and repositories of what? Our ancient knowledge. We've always had knowledge to promote what? The spiritual evolution of who? Humans, who would assist in what? The development of humanity, aka society, cultures all over the world we influenced. Many Western archaeologists promote the idea that the pyramids were used as burial tombs. Who told them that? Don't have a clue. But they're still riding the same line. We ain't found a body and not now one of the damn pyramid, but they're still, oh, it's a burial tomb for the pharaohs. No, we buried them in the West. Yeah, I guess, yeah, that's passion. All right, so yeah, but no, it wasn't tombs. Watch this. Although at no time in history has there been evidence to suggest that mummies were found in any of them. So why would you say that if there's no proof of it? I get crazy when I think about the stuff that they do, but yeah, trust me, I calm myself down, find that place, come back, get on board. All right, back to my lesson. I try to teach, but my passion for what I believe and what I know gets me excited. So understand that. Moving on. Let's go. Don't misunderstand it for some other than what it is. That's a passion for what I do. History tells not history, his story. He gonna tell everything from his perspective. Let us tell you about us from our perspective. That's what I went to Egypt for. That's what I got. That's what I do for you. Egyptian yoga, aka right thinking philosophy, as it was presented to who? The masses. They didn't hide the knowledge. They didn't fool and trick the masses and trick them to a whole bunch of non-symbolic culture that we live in today, that half of us don't recognize the esoteric meaning of half the stuff that they present to us. Why? Because they plans for suckers. 85% of the masses are ignorant. Egyptians didn't have that problem. That's why. Watch this. My point right here. Now, they Egyptian yoga as it represented to the masses of Egyptian population as a people involved two major areas. First, the country as a whole was seen what by outside observers, such as Herodotus and Plutarch. Those are your Greek historians who tell them history. Theirs, not ours. From their perspective. How about that? Okay, so as the most, this what they said, we were the most religious of all the lands. But this is after they came in, and but we were doing that way before they got there. We didn't do it to impress them. Okay, that was why, again, a way of life. We live. We getting there. We getting there. This is what I tell you right here. Now, it may be difficult to imagine. Watch this. Here's the best part right here. Here's my best part. This is why I went to Egypt. It may be difficult to imagine, watch this, an entire country, civilization, society, where the doctrine of eternal life and resurrection for living a wrong life are accepted by who? All. Accepted by all in the manner in which right now the modern world accepts what? Television in every household, a telephone in every household, a stove, refrigerator, every household. Maat was everybody's everything. And they lived for thousands of years based on that philosophy. That's why I went to Egypt. Watch this. Now, the psychological makeup of every individual was tuned into what? The netters, gods, the cosmic forces, both within and without the body. They understood. And here we go. For all you ignorant people who don't believe in the afterlife, well, when this is over, an afterlife existence was an unquestionable fact by our ancient ancestors. Whereas modern day students today need to be what? Convinced, okay, themselves through what? The elaborate system of yoga discipline presented here and elsewhere. Everybody practiced Egyptian philosophy. Everybody took a bit and piece. But we as a people practiced it for thousands of years. Like, again, I got no problem with religion. Again, to them, this was their religion. But like I said, if you're going to be a Christian 24/7. I practice my philosophy 24/7. I live it. I'm it. I incorporate it in my lifestyle. And if you're a good Christian, Muslim, or Jew, that's the same thing you do, so I understand. Trust me, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. I just have my style, my way. Anybody want to learn, practice this, I'm giving it to you. I'm not charging. It's free. I got it. You can have it. Moving on. And this is why we can't even envision living in harmony. We can't even get a household in harmony today. We're more or less a group of people. But when you practice a philosophy compared to a belief system, you got emotions, you got egoism, you got ignorance, all running rampant. When there's a philosophy, you adhere and you follow the philosophy and you'll get better. Simple as that. That's what works. Moving on. That's why it works. So, and again, the afterlife existence was an unquestionable fact. Whereas today in modern time, they got their own ideas, and watch this. But they fooled themselves with a whole bunch of nonsense, or they call pseudoscience. Yeah, but I got it right. Free. I got freedom. Yeah, you have freedom to think, feel, and do what you want. Remember, with that comes consequences. Excuse me. You don't want to know you put the wrong side at their judgment. What roll? Too late then. Okay, so understand that. But the next most important element, again, this is what's important, of the masses, spiritual education program. They took that serious. Watch this. Was the compilation of a philosophical. They taught a philosophical system, and it explained what the cause and purpose of existence. So they didn't walk around, oh, who am I? Why we here? Duh, duh. We're here to learn a lesson, okay? Through stories we tell, such as the creation mythology. I start from the beginning. Why? Everybody should begin it in the beginning. Yeah, well, you didn't know, but this is what the philosophy states, the mythology, the story. That's why. In storytelling, in the beginning, you had the creation mythology. Again, you had the Osirian resurrection myth, which is what we practice and what I show you and teach you. The story of who? Horus, Haru, and Set. That's you. Haru is your higher self. Set is your ego self, aka your lower self. It's common sense. It ain't a whole bunch of superstition. Ooh, God, this. No, I got none of that nonsense. You are the orchestrator of your life. Moving on. We got this. A brain, a mind, they call it, whatever you want to call it. But he gave us the spirit. He gave us a brain to what? To learn to come in harmony with what? The spirit, heart, mind, coherence. That's you being conscious of who you are. We have that ability. No other animal on the planet has that. So we are unique. We're special. Sorry about that. But that's just understanding who we are. And it should be understood by every individual. It ain't a big secret. For some it is. But the story of Haru and Set, I can tell that's the moral story within yourself. The head on both bodies, they both inside you. And the book of coming forth by day, more commonly known as the Egyptian Book of Dead, which contains much of the what? Essential wisdom of virtue, aka Maat philosophy. Calm down. Now, as previously discussed, there are two basic paths of spiritual evolution. From the time Ra came out of the noon, I keep trying to make that clear to you. The first thing he needed was order. That's what Maat represents. Everything is coming in pairs. I was one, I became three. After me, everything came paired up in duality. Maat single. No, she got its fest. She got a counterpart too. Yeah, sorry about that. No, but she represents everything that we have in life about choices. And because we have a left and a right hemisphere, that's what Maat represents, the balance of the brain. Another lesson, it's a whole bunch of ways I can serve this. I'm just doing this way. Hope you get it. Now, as previously discussed, there are two paths to spiritual evolution. What are they? You got a path for passion, nature, natural. Okay. And that's what they call the direct path. Why? Because the path of passion requires, you ready for this? Many incarnations. If you haven't controlled your ego, your passion, your desires, you're going to what? Not make it to the next level. And you're going to be what? Birth and death, aka reincarnated. Because you didn't become conscious. The heart and mind didn't come together as one. They lived as separate beings, like two people in the house not getting along. Y'all living there, just occupy the same space, but they ain't getting along. They're in harmony. Sound like divorce breakers. I mean, the bad marriages. Get a divorce. If it ain't working, move on. Move on. But no, because one depends on the other. In the right side, depends on the left side. Left side comes to the right side, but they don't work together. That's ignorance. When you harmonize them, that's Maat. That's the philosophy that you have within yourself. Hope you're getting the lesson. Hope I'm getting across to you. But when you do the passion, okay, it requires many incarnation. Why? Because you're going to live out your passion, your ego in this, and that leads to births and deaths and many what? Painful and happy life experiences. That roller coaster, the serpent, there you go. If you're up 1 minute, down the next, up and down. See where we're going with that? Smooth sailing is where you want to be in your life. Why? Because the roller coaster ride is moving on. Sometimes you don't want to ride that damn thing. Look at that. In your life experiences, we're here for that purpose. So it's okay, but you should be learning. All right. And the direct path is what that path of, excuse me. Now the direct path of the path of yoga. Now, yoga through what? Science. It's the science of yoga that our ancient mysteries practice. One is able to what? Accelerate one's what? Evolution towards spiritual perfection, knowledge of self. They figured out how to accelerate it. Watch this. And for those who chose that direct path, they had the temples were a training center or university, hospitals, and refuge where you can go. I want to open my school. It'll be 24/7. Just come when you can. Come get it. Why? We got knowledge. That's what we do. We're here to enlighten, educate, and inspire. So it's a 24/7 job if I had it my way. Oh, you want people to go to school 7 days a week? No, I want people to be able to learn 7 days a week. It gotta be school, just lessons in life. The striking, what's this? Symbolism of what? The Ethiopians and the Egyptians. And remember, the only people in Africa that wasn't conquered by that man was the Ethiopians. Moving on. Why? They could fight. If you can't defend and protect yours, somebody's gonna take your stuff. Back in the day, we called the stick up man. If you got caught without a gun, you done. I got a gun every day. Moving on. But the Ethiopian Egyptian philosophies that they live by, when combined with the Egyptian understanding of God in a culture which saw religion, what? In everything. Everything was God. Okay, I ain't got a problem with that. And constituted a what? A formidable system of yoga, which many partially explain, which may partially explain the longevity of Egyptian as a culture and a civilization. They were the best. They arrived to a height that never been duplicated since. But well, how'd they fall? Like anything else. The longevity, this partially explains, the longevity of the Egyptian and the civilization in many ways surpassing, watch this, even modern day societies, okay, and still confounding the Egyptologists and others who try to understand Egypt through what? A purely intellectual approach. They were spiritual. They had wisdom and knowledge, but they also put the spirit with that. That's what made them unique, and that's what's still baffling them today. Because with just an intellectual approach, rather than as a student of what? Life. A student of life, and you gain self-improvement through betterment of oneself with what? Knowledge of self. So know thyself is the ticket. And they couldn't give you they get a whole bunch of stuff, but they gave it that one phrase. And I've been riding that phrase for over 30 years and not gonna stop. Why? I get it. I want us to understand. Don't just take note of thyself. No, break it down, understand it, and then implement it and see if you do just that. Know thyself. Okay. Next one. Yeah, I'm good. One more lesson. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do the page. So whatever it takes, I got 2 more paragraphs to go. But I hope you're getting the lesson. My goal here to teach. Let's go. So the world is not wholly intellectual. Again, scholarly knowledge is fine. Again, I don't have a problem with them. Therefore, not all answers are intellectual answers. At some point, it is what? Necessary to be able to use that gut feeling. We all have it. Okay. Again, we ain't going to that story. I got time over. I ain't got to tell the story about my gut. Last time I didn't use it, I got prison time. One's higher intuitive nature, meaning if it says, don't do that. The devil and the angel, go ahead and do it. Yeah. No, man, no. We all had that. That's because you got 2 hemispheres of the brain. You should balance them and use both sides. If I do this and if I do that, and wait a 2, and now your decision making, you should be prepared to pay the consequences. A lot of times we don't make that good decision and we still got to pay the consequences. Moving on. That's the truth about life. Understand it and get better at what? Your decision making for yourself. That's the name of the game. And to feel, watch this, your gut feeling is one's higher intuitive nature. And to feel the truth is not to be afraid to what? Discard an old belief and in favor of what? A new truth. If you stuck on a belief that's not working for you, why you stuck on it if it ain't working? Again, like being married to somebody you don't love, or being with somebody you don't particularly care. Why are you with them? Oh, that need, that they got something that you need. That's using. That's called being a user. Most relationships are based on, like Bill Withers, if it feel like some people feel good being used, so they don't mind being used up. For everybody ain't with being used. I'm one of them. Moving on. Are you? But this is what the process of growth until what? We fully know what the absolute truth, which is you, yourself, your higher self, your true self. And that's the never ending expansion of what? The thought process, which leads to what? Wisdom and good health. Living right, doing right leads to what? A long life. Simple. It's common sense. Now, contraction in our consciousness is opposed to what? Expansion represents ignorance. If you don't want to learn, you don't want to change, you don't want to better yourself, you're ignorant. That's the veil. I keep telling you, that's the veil of ignorance that keep you from prospering. Told you about that lesson. But you have ignorance, you have tension, and that leads to what? Dis-ease and mental and physical illnesses. Negative thinking, wrong thinking leads to bad health. Okay, moving on. Recent logistics and archaeologists' evidence is compelling, but the information that comes to us from what? Contemporary historians is inescapable. Facts are facts. They is what they are. Excuse me. Now, wrapping it up. You got world history, and they call it in cosmic infinity. Okay, it's the last page. No, I got a little more, but I'm going to still go. Now, world history in cosmic infinity. Modern physics has proven through what? Theory of relativity that time is a relative factor. We got that part. And mental concept, and an idea which we have created in order to what? Help us understand the changes that seem to be occurring around us and in a sequential fashion. Time is a mental idea which exists where? In the extent that we adhere to and believe it, we know what time it is when the sun come up. It's about 6. When it's going down, depending on what time of year it is, between 6 and 8. So that's time that we follow because the sun would tell you. Moving on. Now, that's nature. As such, our ancients speak of several time periods. They keep time, we keep about 25. They didn't constantly do it like that. Understand? They call it eons, etc. Or brain freeze. Okay, I'll get to it in a minute. Now, which have existed. The earth being a changing, dynamic, living entity. Okay? If everybody in culture have a flood story, way back to Atlantis, this earth is 75% water. When that misplaced water comes and wherever you at, if it's coming to you, it's going to take everything out. So everybody has a flood story. Oh, God flooded the earth. Didn't know it did. Natural occurrences. Moving on. But it is said to have undergone and up to this day continues to what? Undergo various changes in the surface appearance due to what? The volcanic and other normal weather patterns. We got volcanoes that ain't erupted in 1,000 years, but we know there's a possibility. And the ancient writings speak of civilizations, here you go, which far surpassed that of present day with respect to technology and human achievements. Furthermore, it is stated that what? Several high cultures have existed in the past in a cycle of what? Growth, which lead to their ultimate what? Demise. One such civilization was, I just told you about, Atlantis. I do this, I understand this. And it's prophesied that man, God ain't gonna destroy the earth. No. Man will self-destruct. That's prophesied. And what? Machinery. What are we doing now? High technology. When we reach the height, the zenith of our technology, the technology is going to destroy us like Frankenstein. Just a concept that they say prophesied. It ain't me. I'm just putting it out there. Again, just information. Let me wrap this up. You got the Greek Solon who visit Egypt in the year 590 BCE. Way, way late. First of all, we come about 10,000 BCE to he had 590 BCE. And this is what he said. And he was instructed about the existence of the land called Atlantis. Everybody talk about Atlantis. Everybody, but ain't nobody been there. Where a high civilization once existed. Okay, where's the proof? Where's the evidence? But which was what? Destroyed and later repossessed. I'm sorry, but I'm going to my George Clinton prelude. but which was destroyed again by what? Flood water. Due to what? The inability, of its inhabitants to what? Control the powerful forces of nature. Man has been fighting nature for a long time, and guess what? Nature and Father Time is both still undefeated. Just like the Monday morning quarterbacks ain't won a game yet, still winless. So some things is what it is, and you need to understand that. And to continue to do that is futile. Moving on. Which, watch this, which they have been able to what? Release. They knew a whole lot of stuff, but they didn't know the power of nature, obviously. Why? Their existence is an imbalance. They had an imbalance. Why? Between their spiritual mortality and their technical mental advancement. We making computers to be smart like us by listening to us and learning from us. That's not always a good thing. I'm just saying. If it's a machine, let it stay a machine. It thinks it's something other than a machine. That's because you giving it them ideas. Okay, moving on. Let me wrap this up. I see the clock. My bad. But in the year 395 BCE, we coming down. 200 years later, the Egyptian priests under whom now we got Plato from the Greeks. Okay, he studied and told him that there had been many floods. I just told you that. We all know that. Which had what? Devastated what? The earth. And changed its appearance. At one time, we got 7 continents. At one time, it was just one. Moving on. That's just history. I'm not making it up. I'm not letting your boy just throw stuff out there. No, I'm speaking what I know. That's all. And that the greatest one had totally devastated who? Atlantis. That's the famous story. They were so technically advanced. They didn't destroy themselves. No, man gonna do that. Modern man gonna do that with technology. But they got destroyed by nature. Moving on, just the concept. Now, where we at? The Atlanteans were said, again, if you hear were said or according to, be prepared, were said to be capable of levitating large stones. I've been dying to hear that. I'm waiting for the resonance to come back because vibration, I know about that also, but I'll let y'all get to it. I don't mind being ahead of the curve when I'll let y'all catch up. But they was able to levitate large stones. Levitate large stones. What the pyramid build with? They didn't have circle. Remember, we didn't invent the wheel. The Egyptians didn't have no wheel. So they didn't roll along. They used sleds. Or did they? Moving on. They ain't figured it out yet. Moving on. I ain't trying to say I'm a genius, I know everything, but weighing many tons. They can levitate stones that weigh many tons with the use of their what? Mental powers, telekinesis, the same kind of power necessary to what? You ready for this one? Create the Great Pyramids, the Sphinx of Egypt, and the city of Machu Picchu in Peru. Yeah, Peru, cocaine capital. And therefore, many ages have seen various high cultures. It's not nothing new. It's all over. Everybody was doing it. Why? Mentality. It is interesting. Wrapping it up. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. I see it's a little long. I hope you get this lesson. I'm wrapping up. This was a good one, I think. So it's interesting to note that the decline of all intellectual advanced civilizations has been related to what? The loss of what? You ready? Balance between intellectual and mental advancements, meaning you putting too much investment in a machine, not enough in the human, and see various what? There for many, okay, well no, Okay, the imbalance between intellectual and mental advancements and that of what your spirit, moral nature. Philosophy and spirituality goes together. That's the whole idea. Heart, mind, coherence. One ain't no better than the other. Why? Because one without the other don't really work. You need two. That's why you got two sides of the hemisphere. And that little thing in the middle of the pineal gland, the third eye, you need to activate that. And now you get guidance from above. Hence, let your conscience be your God. If you're God conscious, God should be your conscience. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned why I went to Egypt and studied what they learned. Why? It worked for them for thousands of years. It's been working for me for the last 20, so I can't complain. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. In closing, right thinkers, may you let it be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know the right thinker like you passed away. I'm out. Oh, I'll be back.